Okay, so this is a solution video for how to suggest the blog post titles, and the topic, the case topic was digital marketing careers, which is how do you actually go about suggesting the blog post titles based on fundamental SEO principles, right? So what that means is that, okay, let's look at the steps first. And the first step is to look at Google suggested searches. So what that means is that you Google, and when you talk about suggested searches, you're talking about these things which are coming here, right here, right? So I'm just going to keep a note ready to start listing down some any things which catch our attention, right? So one is that uh, singular and plural makes a difference, right? And so if you, for example, if you put digital marketing careers, you'll find different words as opposed to just digital marketing career, right? And from here, you can pick up a few things. So, I'm just going to say DMC for short. And just putting down some things which look good to me, right? Let's look at careers in India, Bangalore. So right now, if we are not looking at locations, so let's just look at salary, right? So this is from uh, this is step one, right? Which is looking at the Google suggested searches, because suggested searches tell us give us the most important buckets, and this is coming straight from Google. So it always makes sense to first look at that. Step two is look for more ideas in a keyword research tool. So for that, I have, I think all of you are aware that we typically recommend Uber Suggest. And in that, I have put digital marketing career and geography India, and you see all these suggestions, right? So for those of you who are new to Uber Suggest, the volume refers to the monthly searches for that particular word, right? So I'm going to be skipping just these broad words because these are very comparative. Like just digital marketing career, for example, is very comparative based, because you have big companies, good websites coming up. It's going to be tough to rank here, right? Um, but let's look at, so what you have to do is look at other things which you may have missed out. So we have, okay, the interesting thing here is that this tool also gives you related, it gives you questions. So questions basically mean that in the SER, in the search engine result page, you'll find this people also ask, right? So these are the questions, and these tools like Uber Suggest, they actually help you list down these questions, right? So I'm just trying to see which one of these. So how to start digital marketing career. So I'm just going to be taking that. Let's see if anything else. Is digital marketing a good career? But the number of searches is pretty less. So not taking that. Comparison. Let's look at comparisons. Right, so this is, I mean, of course, you can spend some more time on this, but I'm just giving you the overall approach. This is how it needs to be done. Now, uh, step three is to check the competition score in the tool. Right, by competition score, what I mean is, now, for example, if you have looked at all these things, right? So there is something called SD, which is search difficulty, right? So for all the words that you have shortlisted, scope, path, option, salary, you can actually look at the search difficulty. So just to take examples, so for example, in digital marketing career, salary is 11 and scope is 11. But let's look at path or options. Okay, everything is 11, right? As opposed to something like digital marketing career, which is 23, which means that digital marketing career will be more, it will be more tougher to rank there. SD means search difficulty, which means estimated competition in organic search. The higher the number, the more competitive. Okay, so uh, how to start digital marketing career is you can see 16. This is actually more competitive. So it's better to go with these three, right? So that's the next step, right? Competition score. So this is, you're basically trying to shortlist and eliminate your options. Then do a manual visual check of the competition, which means that now, for example, okay, you have selected these scope, path, options, so you can also see manual check, which means that okay, you can just see okay how many people have used the word options here in the title and in the content, and from there you get a good sense of the competition. So this is in a lot of categories you can do that, right? So you find options has been used by this site, but not really in other websites. Let's look at path. Okay, path is similar. The first, okay, yeah, these these three sites have used path. So path looks a little more competitive than options because people have already figured it out. They've used it in their titles, right? I mean, these are things which will help you make come to that shortlist. What we're doing is we're taking a bucket and now we are shortlisting. We're seeing what may or may not work. So that the idea is that given that we have all businesses have limited bandwidth, which is the priority block to work on, which is the highest chance of ranking, right? That's what we're doing right now. Okay. Analyze what has worked for the site in the past, which means that for this you need to access in the to the analytics, and if you see that something with respect to careers and options has worked for the site, so there is a chance that this particular blog post or title will also work for it. And that's what you mean by analyze. Okay, and the last one is think about how to add some punch in your titles. At the end of the day, the before you suggest the titles, it's not just about the keyword. You also, it has to be attractive. It has to be something which people want to right. So something like one option could be uh, digital marketing scope in India in April 2020. All your FAQ answered, something like this, which makes it more attractive for people to start clicking. That's what you mean by adding some punch. Right? So yeah, so those were the steps. I think the idea is to look at data first, check the competition, and then do a visual check also to see if there is actually a lot of competition for those keywords, and then try to add some punch into the titles. So this is the overall approach. I hope you understood. Let us know if you have any more questions. Thank you. Thanks for your time.